All right, everybody, welcome back. My name is Pale L Poppy. This is episode 46 of Top Tier Podcast. This is a big week, man, especially in the movie industry, man. We got John Wick 4 coming out in like a week or two.
You sound like a trailer.
Creed 3 just, I'm telling you, Creed 3
We're not
just
starting
dropped.
with that though.
And we're not starting with it, but I'm just giving a general what's going on in the world right now. Just, we talk a lot about entertainment.
You starting with Creed. The people think that we're about to talk about Michael B. Jordan, the corny situation. We're not starting with that. We're not handling that topic today.
We're not handling that topic, period, because the topic is corny.
The topic is
the
corny.
Topic itself is corny. So we're not even talking about that.
Bro, I've seen so many corny ass niggas just talking about that shit, and I'm just like, we're talking about somebody who is deemed as one of the sexiest men on earth being corny. One of the most popular men, biggest celebrities on the planet being corny. And another thing about it, see, I'm already talking about it. I didn't want to talk about it, but let me just get it out.
Yeah, we can do it.
Because it irks my soul a little bit. Yeah. It just irks my soul a little bit. This man, they were talking about, they were in high school or middle school. They're like 13 years old talking about this type of stuff. Do you really think that this 35-year-old man, how old is Michael B. Jordan?
Like 34.
Or 35?
34, 35.
34, 35? You really think this man cares that deeply? Like we've all been there where we see somebody like from high school or whatever that we used to know back in the day, like said some shit. Some girl called me fucking big ears or something like that. If I see her, I'm going to comment on it. Remember when you called me big ears? Like it's just natural teasing. People took that way too far. You said people were talking about gender war stuff and Twitter and shit.
And calling him a cornball and calling him a hurt high school dude who had a glow up and now he's trying to get revenge. Like
Joe Budden was hollering and screaming like he always does.
I know y'all have seen that meme where it's like there's like this nerdy dude, it's like this nerdy black guy, and he's like in love with this girl and she's like with this like thug looking dude and he's like, why do they always pick thugs? Yeah. And then it says like many years later and he's holding like a big wad of cash. He's standing next to a Lambo and the same girl is pregnant and she's holding a baby. And she's a single mom. She's like, oh, how you doing? And he said, beat it, chick. But they photoshopped young MBJ on the one he was a kid, and they photoshopped a modern one of him on the years later. Yeah, and they took the lady he was talking to, they put her face on both of them. It was just like,
stop with that.
Who took an hour to do that? Who took an hour to get on Google, find the angle, take a young picture of MBJ, Photoshop an old one, and the interviewer he was talking to did the same thing? That's corny. So I know we addressed it, but like that's corny.
We just had to get it out the way.
The topic itself is corny. There's nothing to even say further than that.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there. How was your week though?
It was pretty fun, man. It was pretty fun. I've been really getting into like music, like high fidelity, like audiophile music. So I got.
You said you changed your audio setup and everything.
I got a new CD player and it holds 6 discs, and I got it from Best Buy for like 120.
The old heads are going to be calling this like, we were doing that back in the 80s. What do you mean? This is new technology.
Well, it's like, you know how vinyl made a resurgence? Like CDs haven't got it. Like CD sales are going up.
We used to just call it albums. What the hell is this vinyl shit? That's how they be talking, these old heads.
I know. And these old heads, yeah. And I've been on vinyl, but vinyl is really expensive these days. Like if you want to get a decent, your average CD is probably going to be like $25 or $35 or more if it's out of print. But a CD, I can get on Amazon.
Probably a demand thing, huh?
It's a demand thing, yeah, because vinyls are like really getting big. It's like a new retro kind of cool thing to do. Like among Gen Zers and millennials.
Yeah, vintage,
vintage,
that whole fad.
But CDs haven't really gone through that same thing yet. So I can get a CD for like $5 to $10. I went to Goodwill today and got like 10 CDs. I got like the Carter 3. I got like a Rihanna album. All these things look almost brand new. Got them for
That's funny you mentioned Lil Wayne because that's where I was going to take us with the Eminem topic about Melly Mel saying that Eminem is only famous or only a top 5 rapper because he's white. My whole thing is like, bro,
to a certain extent.
There's people that are as talented as Eminem. I mean, if we're naming any type of rapper, like who's the rest of that top 5? They all black.
Yeah.
If we name in any of the top 50, Eminem's probably the only white dude on that list. Unless y'all putting Jack Harlow on the list. Are y'all ready to say?
Let's stop the cap.
Exactly. So Eminem is the only white rapper. I don't understand. I didn't really understand with that. What'd you think about it?
I think it's legit. I think if he was black, he'd probably
be in the top.
I think if he was black and it's the same rapper and rapping ability, I think he'd be in the top 15. I don't think he'd be in the top 5. My opinion.
See,
the talent legitimately is there. You cannot argue. You can't deny it. But you can't tell me
I
that
just
him
don't know
being
what that
white.
means. Like,
you can't tell me that him being white didn't put an extra boost, an extra spotlight on him.
being white adds an extra boost to everything. So we already know that part. That just comes with the territory of being white. But if you name any other rapper that's around his caliber of rap and technique, popularity, they're all black and they're all extremely popular. I don't understand what this topic means.
Now
it doesn't sound
now
very.
that you broke it down like that, I could kind of see it.
It doesn't sound very articulate. It doesn't. I mean, even who did Eminem come up with like around the same time? Like 50 Cent?
50 Cent, yeah.
50 Cent is up there. 50 Cent is still relevant. He's more relevant than Eminem. I mean, I don't think that's outlandish to say.
No, I don't think that's outlandish. I see there's been these like 50 Cent videos, these like little like he's like breaking down his life and they're making it into shorts and they're on YouTube and I see him all the time and they have like hundreds of thousands of likes. So he's relevant.
Yeah.
Just talking about his life,
like power
going
and stuff
back to
like
his
that.
Life. Yeah.
I think that's really the reason why he's more relevant right now is because of that whole power franchise and stuff.
When you
I don't
break
really
it
watch
down,
that stuff.
most of the people near his level are black and they're relevant too. But I don't know, man. I would say he would be in the top 10 for sure, without a doubt, and he'd probably be like 7 or 8. But I really believe him being white boosted him,
but like
single digit, a couple levels up.
Where are the rest of the
like 2 levels up, 2 to 3
he's not
levels
the
up
only
on the
white
top
rapper
10.
that has ever existed. Where are the rest of the white rappers?
Nowhere to
Where
be
are they?
seen. Nowhere,
Exactly.
nowhere in the top 100.
So obviously, it's not just the fact that he's white makes him top 5. Like there's a high level of skill and
but
prowess.
that's why I said the man is talented. No
I know
matter
you said
what,
it.
he's
You
in the
said
top
it.
10.
And everybody, that's the thing that everybody always likes to say, like, I'm going to make sure that I get that part out of the way, that he's talented and, you know, he's skilled technically and, you know, he has like all this great charisma stuff. Everybody always says that. But the point that you're making is that he's not using that in order to be top 5. That's the point that people are making if they say that he's only famous top 5 rapper because he's white.
All I'm saying is that it gave him a little bit of a boost, but all of that is talented. The man legitimately is talented. The man legitimately.
Let me ask you this question. What gives you more of a boost, being white or being from the trenches?
It's hard to say.
He's both. He's both.
But it's hard to say. But I think being white gives him more of a boost than it is from being from the trenches. There are plenty of rappers who are not from the trenches, who pretend to be from the trenches, but you know it's cap.
But they pretend to be from the trenches, though.
But everybody knows they ain't from the trenches. Like Drake, stop. Let's stop right now.
But they get
Let's
that
stop.
level.
Drake is like cornball. If you even imagine, like him even trying to act like he's from the trenches is corny. Drake, we know you're not from the trenches.
People say they think it's corny, but obviously they don't really care that it's corny because they believe the shit. If you buy in the music, I mean, and then that's a whole nother discussion about like it's just art. It doesn't have to be close to reality. That's a whole nother conversation. But if you buy in the music and you singing along to the music, people are singing along to Future like they fucking mean it.
Yeah.
And
Future,
we already know Future don't be doing none of that shit that he be talking about.
Oh, hell
like
no.
that.
Hell no.
He probably does be running through the women like that, but none of the drugs and stuff, the
none of the drugs
and
and hallucinations.
You know, popping pills like that.
Yeah.
That nigga worth too much money to be doing that type of shit.
I got too many kids. got too many checks to pay.
Exactly.
But like, I think being white is the bigger boost than being from the trench. But you can argue, you can spin it around where it's like the medium itself comes from people in the trenches rapping about their reality. Especially in older school rap where they was more critical of the system and it's not just fully bought and paid for. That was the street cred.
Like,
you had to have street cred. It was gangsta though. They were that's what I'm saying, but it was more authentic. Like they would be gangsta, but there was some substance there. These days it's just like all bullshit. It's just all debauchery. Back then it was like,
for the most part,
we legitimately are around gangsters. We participated, but this is our reality because of XYZ. They would at least do that. But like today it's just popping pills and Xannies, fucking hookers and like, I'm just being honest. Like, no substance, no. It's just like debauchery. But you know, all I can say is I really ultimately in the topic. I think being white has more of a boost, but older school hip hop, the trenches was more important. I think. But I think today's era. Look at the Jack Harlow. Jack Harlow gets. I mean, it's almost like the labels are like, we are not going to let this dude is going to be successful. We're going to do whatever it takes to make sure this dude's on top. I swear to God, Jack Harlow got pushed that I've never seen in life.
I like Jack Harlow.
Am I wrong for saying that? That he's
I like
getting...
Jack Harlow. I honestly think that whatever he's getting is deserved. I like Jack Harlow.
Okay.
He got it organically. You know what I mean? He's not like an industry plan like some people like to pin on him.
I think
he got it organically.
That's just me. I feel like they like pump him like hard as hell. But maybe I'm not aware of how popular he is.
Maybe I'm not aware that they pumping him. Let's talk about this Ja Morant thing, because that's breaking news. I feel bad for the man. He's like around our age, and it just seems like, I think that most people feel like how I do, just that he's a young rising star. He's getting money.
Right.
He's getting fame. He's getting endorsements, commercials, shoe deals, all this type of shit. And for him to be kind of, in a way, throwing his life away by trying to be out here almost willing to catch a case. I mean, he's in Memphis, so Tennessee, you know, their gun laws are probably different, but the man was fucking brandishing a weapon on social media, bro. Like, you don't need to be doing all that. You worth tens of millions of dollars, fam.
He looked like he was off a bean too.
He was definitely intoxicated, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, some dudes just want to throw their lives away. But I think it's true that like people who just get money like that, not necessarily overnight. I mean, he hustled for that. But like people who just were not used to that kind of money, they lose their way. And there's no type of planning involved, because you can't be planning for a long, fruitful, wealthy future and you're doing stuff like that.
I just don't know why he would try to fuck his money up like that, bro. The man, so he's gotten suspended for 2 games. He is probably going to have a talk with the actual commissioner of the NBA. And the NBA, as an association, is probably going to have something to say to Ja Morant, or have something that he needs to do in order to, you know, get some recourse for whatever his actions were. But on top of that, like, what is this going to say to like Nike? Or is he with Nike, or who is he with? Adidas, whoever his shoe deal is with. Like, your endorsements and all this type of shit. What is that going to say to them? Like, how are you going to rep our brand and you out here fucking...
We're a family, E for everyone. Like, we want the kids buying our shoes all the way up to the elderly buying our shoes.
It looked like he was throwing up gang signs.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
you know, we're a family-friendly brand. We can't have a guy throwing up guns and gang signs.
But like I said, bro,
messing up your money, man. Come on. Like, a shoe deal? Do you know how much wealthy you would get off that? Especially over time, over time. You know, and then you invest that money. By the time you retire, Jesus Christ. People
in the NBA have been blackballed in the NBA for much, much less than this. I mean, the thing that's most familiar that everybody's talking about, this kind of reminds us of Gilbert Arenas. You know about Gilbert Arenas, the dude who brought the gun to the locker room?
I've heard that name before. Yes.
That was way back. But obviously we know about that. But like, there's people just get in a fight or some shit, or just like some random shit off the court. You know, Lamar Odom had his like drug thing, right? Like, people have been blackballed for less in the NBA, bro. Like, don't fucking play around with your money. You're a young upcoming star. People look at you like the top talent, like a top talent, a possible top 5 talent in the league.
Gonna replace the old guard, like the Currys and the LeBron.
Yeah, exactly. And you out here just doing pretend shit. You know, because people, I mean, I don't know if there's any facts to it. I don't know if there's any truth to it, but people are out here talking about how, I always say that people are out here. Who's people? No, but they're out here talking about Twitter. Yeah, I know. But yeah, basically that's what it is. Like, Twitter has been exposing the fact that he doesn't necessarily come from like the quote unquote trenches, the quote unquote struggle. Like, he had a pretty nice upbringing. So I don't really imagine that this was his, like we were just talking about with Eminem in the trenches and shit. Like, I don't imagine that was his upbringing.
But what is it? It seems like an insecurity. There are a lot of guys who come up.
For black people especially, I think that's what it is.
But like, it just seems like specifically, that's true. It definitely seems like that, where it's like, you know, you ain't black enough, or whatever. You
don't have edge.
Michael B. Jordan. Why do you need an edge, though?
Because we black, and it's just like, I don't know what that is.
That's not, I can't say that, because most of the black people I know are just normal, middle class, everyday working people who don't have an edge, don't need an edge. That's the majority of black people I've ever met in my life, honestly.
Same.
And I know a lot of black people. But there are some that are just like, grew up in a nice neighborhood and just like, gotta be hard, gotta act tough, gotta hang out, gotta be a thug. Now, I met some, that's like on one hand, out of the hundreds of black people I met in my life. I'm like, what is that insecurity about? Why do you need that? clearly he has that same thing. Like I've seen it before.
I think that it's just an edge that seems cool. I mean, that sounds really simple to say, but I think that whatever that edginess is, because I'm sure other cultures have that same thing in whatever their community is. For black people, it just happens to be the streets. I don't know. We associate it with rap. We associate it with hip hop. You know, they get women, they get money. You know, drug dealers, they get women, they get money.
So he idolized it. He idolized it because I never idolized rap, and I love rap music, but I don't idolize the bullshit. You know what I mean?
I would like to get like some of the rappers. Like I would like to be wearing the nice clothes and shit like that. That's what the NBA players do. I mean, we already know like NBA players are associated with the hip hop culture.
Right.
We already been knowing that. I mean, the NBA literally has like hip hop artists that perform at like the All-Star game, you know, in the middle of the commercial breaks and shit like that. So we already know that's a part of the image of the NBA and shit like that. So that's okay. But for you to be out here kind of like, I don't want to say committing crimes because he's not, I mean, I don't know though. Because then another story that's been coming out, which is like more rumors, more accusation, is that he was at the fucking, some mall around his area beating up teenagers and shit like that. Brandishing weapons at teenagers and shit.
My thing is just like, why though?
Well,
like,
first of all, we don't know if that's true.
We don't know that's true. Let's just, but if we're assuming, we're going to assume that we're going to entertain the possibility, right?
Rumors, rumors, they probably have a little bit of validity to them.
Like with Kodak. Like, Kodak's another example. This man has beaten
hood rat.
Man's a straight hood rat, but like man has beaten like, and see he's different because he seems like he actually is from the trenches. But I'm like, you're getting that kind of money and you still need to commit crimes or like whole Young Thug thing. I don't know enough about it, but let's just say maybe they were doing some stuff they shouldn't do. It's like you're Thugger, you are Thugger. You don't have to do that.
Yeah,
you don't have to do that.
Especially if it isn't even in your genes. Like it's not even in your makeup to be doing that shit. Like it seems like he's trying to play gangsta. Yeah. That's what it feels like to me. But and why? I think most people would agree with that.
It's like you playing right into the hand of people who want to see you fall. It's like easy. It's just easy. It's like dude's playing gangster, hip hop police on his ass. You in jail.
And I just feel bad for the man, bro. I just feel bad for him. Like I hope it doesn't sound like I'm accosting him. I hope it doesn't sound like I'm being too harsh on him or anything like that. Because that's not exactly what I'm trying to do necessarily. I just, you know, if he were to ever hear this podcast, he won't. But I would just hope he would hear it and just feel like, yeah, maybe there is some other ways I could go about. Like he ended up deleting his social media, but I don't know if he put it in a social media post, but he responded to it because he got suspended and shit like that, and he was talking about how he's gonna go about other ways of, you know, dealing with the stress or whatever the matter is. He apologized, took full responsibility and shit. Like, obviously, you got to take full responsibility. Like, nigga, you're the only one in the video. Like, we're talking about you. So,
right.
Obviously, you're responsible fully. But he probably just needs to, I don't know, he just needs to figure out a different way of.
He needs a life coach. He needs somebody, a mentor, an older NBA dude needs to pull him aside and say, hey, man, let's get this real money. Let's stop playing games. Like, why throw away, probably potentially even billionaire status because you want to play children games. You want to run around and act like you're something you're not, and you have an opportunity to make some real money. Let's flex on people. Let's buy stocks in real estate. You know what I mean? Like let's flex like that. I bought the commercial property. I own all the, and I rent out all the businesses there. Like, but people don't think that's not gangsta. But I think it needs to be gangsta to get these guys on board. You know?
Yeah, I mean that's G code to me.
That's gangsta to me.
Yeah,
you pulled up and just bought it in cash.
That's what I look up to. Personally, that's what I look up to.
You should be leveraging to a certain extent, but like some dudes are just like, I want to own it, and you got to your cash flow is so high.
Fuck up the fucking money, trying to fuck up the cash for his family, his friends. You're not gonna be able to put nobody on anymore.
I don't understand it, but yeah.
You want to talk about Travis Scott?
Yeah, let's talk about Trav.
This is another man I feel bad for. I don't know if I should.
I don't feel bad for him. I'm not blaming him entirely, but I don't feel bad for him.
What do you mean you're not blaming him entirely? He fucking went up to somebody and socked him.
Oh, I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about the
Rolling Loud situation, or no, the Astro World situation. Which is, I think that's over and dealt with.
I've been surprised. People get put away for less, at least in previous decades.
If he's out here doing this type of
he did that in the 80s, the 70s,
chicanery,
80s, he would have been gone. There would be no Travis Scott anymore.
He's out here fucking assaulting people and causing thousands of dollars worth of damage. I think that he's good there. I think he feels a sense of comfortability when it comes to that lawsuit.
Could be the opposite. Do you think if his lawsuits aren't going well,
He's acting out.
He's acting out. Got
You think so?
to lose. I don't know. I mean, if he's going to perform at Rolling Loud, I think he's fine.
That's
Honestly,
another thing. Yeah.
I think he's fine. Because I mean, if he was like really gone, they wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. So no, he wouldn't be able to do any shows.
I disagree with that. I think that normally, we talked about this off mic. Normally, these companies, if they feel like you could get any type of return for them, they probably gonna ride with you. If your PR situation is kind of up in the air, we talked about Ezra Miller on the podcast before.
Ezra Miller is like, if Ezra can get away,
we
Travis
talked about
is
Kanye
good.
West on the podcast before. Him working with Adidas again. I mean, that's not confirmed, but even just the rumor being out there, even just the idea that there's a possibility that you could work with somebody like that. You could look at somebody like Travis Scott in the same type of way. I mean, he's on trial right now for the lives of several people, more than several. Yet people are still working with him, giving him shows, concerts, touring dates all across the world. Not just the country, all across the fucking world for Rolling Loud. They don't give a fuck about what his... Yeah,
they do not care.
They trying to get that cash.
Exactly.
The thing that's fucked up about it is that everybody's going to go out there and fucking watch it. Everybody's going to go try to see Travis Scott. And that's the thing that we were talking about with Kanye West last week was like, because I know a lot of people, Charlamagne the God is one of them, that was talking about, man, Adidas would never do that shit. They would never put themselves in a compromising position to ever work with a man such as Kanye West with all the PR and all this type of stuff that's happening surrounding Kanye West. Well, that's not the truth. I don't personally think that that's the case. I personally would make that bet with Charlamagne the God too.
Nah.
Like Charlamagne the God gonna have to sling me some dick.
We had a heated discussion with one of our friends on Discord about this, where his point of view was the long-term consequences of them working with Kanye are way worse than the short-term. Probably so many different people that they depend on in their chain of operation, their supply chain, may just up and decide not to work with him because they're working with a dude who said that he fucking loves Hitler. Like, and it's true. His words. So many things he fucking loves about Hitler in his words.
It's true.
So,
but at the same time, these are public corporations. These are public companies. Rolling Loud, not really the same. It's more of a privatized deal. But all these companies care about is short-term gain. They could give a fuck about tomorrow. I mean, obviously, that's in the back of their mind.
That.
That's in the back of their mind. But if you're a public company, especially, bro, you got shareholders to answer to. You talk about short-term. Nigga, what did I make on return for this year? What did I make on return for this quarter, the last 3 months?
Yeah.
Niggas don't give a fuck about what's going to happen 10 years from now.
But maybe if the shareholders really want it that badly, they might just say, hey, we'll make a deal that we'll sell the rest of the Yeezys and stop. They may not think that is as bad as a continuing relationship with the man.
Y'all thinking like a lot of these... Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Because they can always say, we denounce him. We're just going to sell off the rest of the product and terminate the relationship and try to make it seem like, we're just trying to offload these in a safe way. Their PR team, if they do decide to do it, they're going to come up with a way to soften the blow. Like, hey,
they always come up with a reason. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So they can satisfy best of both worlds. They made their money, but they ended the relationship with Kanye to keep the long-term people happy.
And another thing that they think about too, don't get it twisted, is competition out here.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't do it, someone else is going to do it. Someone else is looking at Adidas like, oh shit, they're not willing to work with Kanye West anymore?
Yeah, exactly. What if
I'll work with Kanye West. Nobody knows my shit.
Exactly.
But if I put Kanye West on it, they going to know all about it. Same with Travis Scott. If Rolling Loud doesn't do it, if Texas doesn't give Astro World a chance, California goddamn will, New York goddamn will, what are you going to say?
I was just saying, like, imagine like a Timberland or like a Bape Yeezys, or you know what I mean, like Timberland Yeezys, Bape
anybody Yeezys,
New Balance Yeezys. Those things New Balance would be the new Nike overnight if that deal.
Anybody Yeezy. You put any of these names, bro. These names are huge. These are huge names in culture. People are just gonna look at the name and just flock to it. We all know this.
Because didn't he work with Nike previously? Weren't the Red Octobers Nikes? I'm talking about Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye did, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and those are some of the most coveted shoes on the internet. I'm pretty sure the Red Octobers. Mm-hmm. So if he can, he's already jumped brands. He's just gonna do it again, and they're gonna. Or do you think he's done that much damage to his brand? Do you think Kanye really has lost a lot of fans?
He's Kanye West. That's what I'm trying to say. He's Kanye West. There's certain names Michael Jackson was fucking on trial. I don't want to get into it, but there's certain names out. Yeah, we all know. People at that icon level, no one gives a damn what they've done in the past.
Even R. Kelly, that's another example.
Yeah, R. Kelly too. They let him get away with all that shit for decades. People don't care about what goes on behind closed doors, really. Even if it's out in the open eye, like people don't give a fuck. Because we know, like, I'm gonna be able to consume something that you're making. I don't know. It's bullshit, but
we all gonna make money. The people we're gonna be entertained.
We're gonna get entertained. We all happy. Let's move on to our next topic because it kind of is a similar light. Now I want to start this off by saying congratulations to Zendaya. I give her a round of applause as well. $1 million deal with Euphoria.
Per episode.
Yeah, per episode, making $1 million per. I mean, we look at actresses and actors in the past that have made these types of deals. It's a huge fucking deals. Talking Friends level. We talking.
They have how much more episodes though. They were getting a lot more. Euphoria.
I'm just talking about the number, the cap that they're making.
Number, yeah.
Talking about Seinfeld type shows, nigga. These are huge fucking deals. I didn't know Euphoria had it like that. I didn't know Zendaya had it like that.
You couldn't escape people talking about Euphoria. You just couldn't escape it. It was ridiculous.
It just doesn't seem like the type of show. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the type of show that, first of all, is going to get that long of a run. Second of all, it doesn't really seem like that type of show that brings in that much profit.
And the gap is too large between seasons, man. These are grown people playing children. It's like weird to me.
And that's what I wanted to get to because I'm conflicted about this now. I love Zendaya. Apparently, not as much as everybody else because I don't hear nobody else talking about this. But the show that Zendaya is on, I'm not saying she has any, she is an executive producer, I'm pretty sure, at least a producer. She probably has some, say in the writer's room and shit like that. So I'm not going to put it all on her, but she has some responsibility in it. The show is fucking disgusting.
It's debauchery to show. It's like
now let me finish because I don't want people to. I'm not a conservative.
Violence,
right?
Shock value to show. Like it's like weird. It's like bizarre.
I'm not one of these conservative niggas out here that's talking about we should stop the drag queen stuff and it's not that deep to me.
Yeah, it's not that deep, but it's just like I'm not saying you don't watch it. We're not on that kind of time. I'm just kind of like
it's the fact that these are adults. Mm-hmm. Who are playing and starring as children, underage children, and the only thing that people gravitate for this show for is the sex. We could mention something like Big Mouth. Yeah, that's a great example that people would understand more of where I'm trying to go with this. These types of shows feature little kids, bro, that are in high school, that are in middle school, just performing sexual acts, and I just think it's kind of, I don't know, it's a little funky. I'm not gonna throw any labels on it.
You can't really say that about Big Mouth, but they allude to and talk about that.
That's what the show is about.
Yeah.
When people talk about the show, people talk about Euphoria, bro. I don't watch the show, but so when I see what I see, most of the time it's about these sexual things. I go, oh, Sydney Sweeney is so fine. Look what she did in this scene right here. It's just a sex scene, dog. This dude Sam Levinson, who is the director of Euphoria, is also going to be directing another HBO show. The cast and crew on that show, on that set,
Idol,
are saying, it's called Idol, are saying the same thing that's similar to what I'm saying about the show Euphoria. The show has no grounds other than to just show graphic sex scenes.
Graphic and violent and like bizarre.
They're saying that this new show, this man, Sam Levinson, has just taken over the direction of just making this show, quote unquote, torture porn. They said it is just porn.
Because at a certain point, like, if I want to watch porn, I got X videos on speed dial. I got it bookmarked. Cool, right?
I'm weak.
But that's true. And let's stop capping. Anybody try to criticize it. I know you watch porn. Stop trolling. Stop playing. You just trying to deflect it because you probably watching some ridiculous porn. I'm very modest. I watch regular stuff. I'll be watching all kinds of ridiculous.
Get back to the point.
Let me get back. Let me get back. Because I already know how these dudes are gonna be in the comments. But let me get back. But yeah, like when I see some of this stuff on TV these days, like Netflix and HBO, because it's like a trend now. I hit fast forward, bro. I don't want to see that. If I want to see that, I know where to go. I don't know why. Like, Penn Badgley, the guy from You, he was in You. Yeah. He even said like he doesn't understand. This is a trending topic as well. That's related. I don't understand why we need sex scenes in movies and shows. Because he was in season 4, there isn't any explicit sex scenes because he asked them not to do it. Because it's like,
right.
You can allude to and convey or even show the lead up to these things. We know what happened, but why do we got to do the most? Like season 3 of You, they was doing the most.
Yeah.
It was like 2 or 3 sex scenes an episode. It's like,
I ain't never seen nothing like it in Euphoria, dog, bro. I mean, I'm telling you, bro. And I just think that there's something that, let me put it this way. If anybody were to tell you that they looking up 25-year-olds cosplaying as 15 and 16-year-olds having sex for their porn usage, you would look at that person in a certain way.
Yeah.
So I don't think there should be any difference of opinion when it comes to these shows like Euphoria, Big Mouth, or the new show called Idol. I think it's all the same. I mean, maybe not Idol, because I think Idol, they're supposed to be adults or whatever.
They're adults, but the actors were just like shocked and appalled by the writing that they had to act out. Like it just how like ridiculously explicit, and it's not even just explicit. I'm not talking about seeing genitals.
Shit is graphic,
I'm just
dog.
talking about like just the logistics of how violent and just how like bizarre these scenes are. The things that they're doing in these scenes is just like it is beyond anything you would imagine a regular sex scene would be. It's like torture porn. It's like 50 Shades of Grey on steroids, at least for that Idol show.
Bro. It is, bro. I'm telling you. Go tell somebody that you watched that shit just in your spare time. They gonna look at you. I'm telling y'all, bro. Y'all need to stop at this.
But people are saying
how long you
like
think that show goes on?
People. Depends, man. I don't know.
That is shaming.
I think if it gets like some real relevance, it could go for a couple of seasons. I mean,
it's already been a couple seasons. I thought it's
Euphoria,
already like 3 seasons.
Yeah, but I'm talking about Idol.
Oh.
But Euphoria, this is season 3. I don't even know how to. Season 2 is so weird. I don't even know where they're gonna even take the show. Like, there's only
Zendaya.
one plot
the show is
I can
Zendaya.
think of. But like,
I guess Sydney Sweeney is kind of up there now too.
But the
that
show's
show made her
getting
famous
like
too.
really serious. It's beyond just high school kid bullshit. It's like gang members and sex slavery. It's like getting weird. So that's all I'll say. Spoilers to people who haven't seen Euphoria. It's like some weird stuff. Like okay, and gunfights and like okay. I thought this was about a girl on drugs in high school.
Nah, it's the most. What we got next?
The Weeknd was like talking to some dude from Rolling Stone, and they like put up a picture of a monkey to represent him. Like
that was some bullshit.
That's what I thought when I was looking at it.
People take that too far.
Yeah, even though makes you wonder. That's how a lot of these racist dudes do. They'll post something that's racist that's like right on the line. Like it's like right on the line. So it's like if you criticize it, it's like, bro, like what are you talking about? But that shit is racist though. But it could have been. It is so in the cut. It is so in the groove that you really can't say anything. But you know what they're doing though. They have like complete deniability, even though they can really be laughing about it amongst themselves. Like
it's kind of like I thought you were gonna take us to the next topic about the Tennessee representative.
Yeah, we are.
It's kind of like that, where it's kind of like right in step, like it's teetering. The line
this is nowhere near on the line. But anyway, so last week there was a Tennessee representative. His name is Paul Sherrill. He's a state representative, Tennessee lawmaker, and they were having a debate on alternative methods to carry out capital punishment, beyond lethal injection, firing squad being an option. And he responded in there talking about, can we bring back hangings by tree? Can we bring back hangings by tree? And everybody was just looking at him, and then people were interviewing him after, like, we all know what you're talking about, bro. We all know what you mean. We all know that you want public lynchings and executions of undesirables who probably are going to be Negroes. You want to bring back public lynchings again.
I guess.
Now, people are arguing you took him out of context.
Well, what's the context? What's the full context? Because all people were circulating was just a clip. So what's the full context then?
Well, the people who are arguing that you're taking it wrong is that all he's arguing for is just hanging people. It's wrong. It's just capital punishment. But hanging by tree specifically has its roots in hanging black people by tree. It
does.
And then other minorities. It was mostly us, but it wasn't just us being hung and lynched publicly. Where it's like if someone is accused of a crime, the people in the town would just come and the police would allow it, take this dude out of his jail cell, take him to a tree. They would beat the shit out of him and hang him from a tree and then set him on fire. And I don't know about all set him on fire, but we know the history. Let's not play around like we don't know the history.
I don't even have anything to say about it because I don't know the man. I mean, I'm not trying to cape for the man either, so I'm not even going to play devil's advocate with it. So I don't even really have anything much to say about the topic, to be honest.
I really want to, this is one of those topics where I want to open it up. And it's cool. I know we're going to get trolls in the comment denying reality, as usual. But let's open it up. I want to see what you guys think. Is it very obvious what he's saying, or is it some excuse as it normally is for open racism? Let's see. I just want to know.
I'm interested too. I'm interested too. Because I'm not going to cape. Next.
That was a quick one. I just wanted to open it up. Want to make sure people are aware. So yeah, the next topic, Chris Rock will be addressing Will Smith live, and it's happening today, right?
Yeah, I think it's happening right now. Actually,
right now, while we're recording this, addressing the Will Smith slap. And there've been rumors going around that one of the jokes in one of his specials when he's been touring is that he watched him he Emancipation because he wanted to see Will Smith get his ass whooped. And a lot of people are saying it's off code and it's coonish to say that such a thing.
I disagree with that point.
He's a slave getting whipped in a movie, and you're just sitting there like, yeah.
First of all, I know I'm on record as saying that these comedians need to stop hiding behind the fact that they're comedians so they could just make any type of audacious joke. But number one, Chris Rock and Will Smith have beef. Okay, they could try to dap it up all they want to. You could send the little apologies or whatever. I think Will Smith said that he apologized. I'm pretty sure Chris Rock said he apologized to him as well. You could do all that, but nigga, if you slap me in front of 30 million people, nigga, we got beef. That beef is. I'm riding with that beef. I don't hold grudges, but I'm riding with that beef, bro. You go fucking make me look like a pussy up here. So that's number one. And number two is like, weren't we the same people? Not us specifically, but I don't know. Maybe you can answer. You can answer at the end of this question. Weren't we all just making fun of Will Smith for making his return as a fucking slave?
Yeah,
we were all making fun of it too.
I mean, that's bizarre that this movie was probably playing years in advance. You can't. I don't know if we can really say that, but why are we still doing slave movies though? Why is someone that high profile? You
can answer the question. So do you think that Chris Rock was off code for this? Nigga silent now. That's what you call stunt. That's when I say I rest my case.
I guess not. I guess not. Because at the end of the day, why are you doing a slave movie, bro? And they have beef. You can conclude it there.
Yep.
I don't think there's enough evidence to judge that he has the coon chip is on. So even though we know it's on. No, I'm talking about Chris Rock.
Both of them.
On both of them. We know the coon chip is on Chris
Rock. And people have already been saying that he was saying some really on-base things for himself, but like just out of pocket, off code shit in his stand-up material recently anyway, because he's been touring with Dave Chappelle. I've already been hearing rumors about that. I'm definitely going to be watching this. I'm definitely trying to see what he has to say. I don't understand really what there is to say. You think he's going to be making jokes, or is he going to do like a little pseudo Dave Chappelle orator type? Let me talk to y'all for a minute.
No, I think he's making jokes. I can't imagine Chris Rock being mildly entertaining, being serious.
Maybe I guess not. I don't know. He's getting older though. I don't know. I don't know if this is going to shake his career up. Like I'm very interested to see what he's about to talk about. So I'm definitely going to be watching this shit. But that's pretty much all I got to say about that topic, bro. People need to stop with all that off-code brand shit. I mean, in some cases it works. In this case,
it's the same. It's Yudi Gang. Like everything can be. I mean, not necessarily trace it back to Yudi Gang, but like we talked about Yudi Gang last week. Like dudes think buck dancing will build them an audience, make them acceptable, make people ignore the fact that they're a Negro and that they're with the status quo. At least that's what I believe.
Yeah, that is a thing.
"Quote unquote" intimidating.
Yeah, we are. We know. We covered that before too. Last thing I had, just wanted to talk about a little bit of the movies that we had coming out this month, because this month looks pretty loaded. I mean, we already seen Creed is I think that just came out like yesterday, right?
Yeah, this week. Yeah.
That's going to blow the fuck up. We got Scream.
Oh, yeah. That movie looks so good, too. And I love the
We
last
got
one.
John Wick.
Come on, dude. I'm going to see that opening night in IMAX. Not even playing with you. I love John Wick.
The rollout this month just seems pretty hype. So I'm definitely going to be buying some tickets. I know I say that like damn near every single time a new blockbuster comes out.
And we're still waiting.
And I'm probably not going to go watch Avatar either.
And we're still waiting. Out of every movie, that is the movie to see in theaters. Out of every movie,
I know it, but I just can't bring myself to go watch it. I just can't.
But you already know they're gonna do a re-release tour like they always do with Avatar every couple of years. They're gonna eventually when we get to 5, they're gonna be like, go watch all 5 in a row. Again, you know how they do with Avatar because they're always chasing the #1 movie in history, so they always will do a re-release, theatrical release, so they can make more money.
Yeah, but this month looks pretty impressive, bro. So I might have to stop through at some of these theaters just to see, maybe pick up a nice little date.
I see. Get on
ride
BLK.
Through.
Stay on code. Get on BLK.
I know. You saw that one dude in our comments said that we mess with. I'm not gonna say the word because I don't know if it's derogatory, but I think he was alluding to the fact that he thought that we were messing with white chicks.
You know how these dudes take everything out of context.
What's wrong with messing with white chicks?
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with messing with white chicks, but like, if you're gonna do it, don't be like, I got with white chicks because the black women didn't want me.
Exactly.
That's coonish. But if you find someone you genuinely liked and you're okay to accept, any challenges that may come from doing that, cool. But don't be after the fact acting like you made it because you're dating a white woman. That's just bizarre. But that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, I was just kind of shook about that. I didn't understand that. I mean, we've been talking about we talk about dating culture on here a little bit. I've mentioned my dating habits and stuff like that.
Exactly.
The fuck type of shit. I mean, I have dated white girls in the past. But
I
the
have
fuck
as
type
well.
of shit that brings what makes you think that I just stay with dating white chicks?
I just got to a point where
What about me, y'all? What about me?
When I look back on my life, I just prefer sisters. When I look back on my life now, this is like just looking back on things that like now that I'm older that it just did not.
I'm gonna save you. You realize that you put more value. You put a lot of value on sisters. It's not necessarily that you prefer it.
It just makes more sense to me to date somebody who understands my experience, not only within quote unquote racially, because that's a social construct, but we live in a world that we're held to that. But ethnically, I'd rather stay within race and ethnicity because that's someone who would understand my experience and I would understand her experience. And that is perfectly fine. I'm not shaming anybody who has a different perspective.
I thought I was trying to save your life by saying the preference thing because the preference thing, that's what gets people in trouble.
It's not even like, it's just like, that just makes sense to me. As somebody who's about to be 25, that's what makes sense to me. But if you like white women, cool. But if you're out here like, yeah, I made it. I'm dating the white women. I'm the man now. They see it as a status symbol. That's coonish.
That's racist.
And racist.
All right, deep cuts.
Deep cuts. Oh,
yes, sir.
Toro was going hard on those fucking cents, dude.
Toro was also on that Don Toliver project, that new Don Toliver project.
Check that out, man. He's at
least check out that cut. Yeah. I don't really remember the song, so it probably wasn't like all that great, but the album in general, just overall, is really good. Really good. I almost played him for a deep cut today.
Okay.
Maybe next week. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this was top tier podcast episode, whatever. Did we even announce the episode?
46. I believe you did. I remember saying it.
Oh, okay, good. All right, we will catch you guys same place, same time next week for another episode. Peace.
Peace, y'all.
I always do that, bro.